What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is me, that HEAD here, back with another Raw review video that took place yesterday. As I'm doing this right now, it took place November 2nd, yesterday, and I'm going to review it today. I managed to watch it last night-ish. Got up this morning, double-checked it again today, rewatched it today, and yeah, I'm going to review it for you. Now, apologies, it is an hour earlier than I usually would do this. I usually do this about 3 o'clock time, UK time at least. But I'm going out tonight. That's why I'm dressed in this that you see in this, right? This sweet shirt that I'm dressed in, because I'm actually getting ready to go to work tonight. I've got a Borough match to take care of tonight, which is Borough against Rotherham. But that'll be then. This is now. Let's get right into it, guys. And let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Now, we'll kick off with the main point. Rollins versus Reigns. And it kicked off this week with Roman Reigns coming out and claiming that he's going to face, talking about he's going to face Seth Rollins at Survivor Series, November 22nd. Saying he's going to do something and he's going to get his revenge for what Rollins did at WrestleMania, sneaking in, taking the title and running with it and all that. That was interrupted also by Rollins, who was then interrupted by the Authority, Triple H and Stephanie. And they teased the crowd a little bit, but they made a main event, which saw Rollins versus Reigns in a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. That means they had to pick 4 players or 4 major players each. Now, we all know what happened, because it ended up being for at least for Rollins' team. We all knew it was going to be Kevin Owens. He picked Kevin Owens, which Kevin Owens agreed to. And yes, he went and picked the New Day, because the New Day stepped up and offered their services to him, which in a way he kind of accepted. So it ended up being Rollins, Owens, and New Day to take on Roman Reigns' team. But going into the match, we didn't know who it was. Turns out it was Ryback to match with Kevin Owens in a kind of championship and all. And it was that. And then, obviously, Dean Ambrose was going to come out. I mean, they've both been fighting together. They've both been fighting the Wyatts together for the past 3 months at the most. But there was a surprise tag team, because I had to pick for the Dudley Boys. I didn't see this tag team coming. The Usos returned. Both of them. That's right. The Usos came back. And it looks like New Day's got some new competition for their tag team titles. Dudleys are out. Probably out the way for the time being at the most. So, who better? The Usos. And, yeah, that should be a good thing. And I predict right now Usos will be future tag team champions. I hope. But, all in all, the main event was actually a great match. I enjoyed it. It started off with Xavier Woods getting eliminated after running into a super kick. And then Kofi gets eliminated. And then the Usos, singly, get eliminated. So it left down to 2. And then, who else was there? Big E got eliminated. Ryback eventually got eliminated. And then Kevin Owens got eliminated through a mistake with Rollins. A little miscue, because Rollins did his knee, although he got, I believe it was Ambrose the first time. They isolated Ambrose. I believe he got Ambrose the first time. The second time, though, he clocked Owens right in the head with it. And then that's what set Owens up for the dirty deeds. And Owens getting eliminated by Dean Ambrose. And then it was just toying matches with Rollins 2-on-1, but Rollins caused a disqualification by using a steel chair. He won't be doing that, however, November 22nd at Survivor Series. Is Rollins ready for Survivor Series? Because it's going to be one-on-one, and it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. But, will that happen? What will happen in that match? I am very much looking forward to the Survivor Series match, to be honest. What will happen? Who knows? It'll be interesting to see how this storyline pans out, or this rivalry going in to Survivor Series pans out between the two. Apologies for that. That is the ice cream van, the most annoying thing around here. But anyway, Bray Wyatt, however, speaking of Survivor Series, came out and announced his greater power, so to speak, the power that he has, after consuming the souls of the Brothers of Destruction. It's interesting to see how this is going to pan out, because there is going to be a match involving The Undertaker at Survivor Series. It'll be ignorant not to. I mean, 25 years of The Undertaker at Survivor Series and he's not on the card. It'd be kind of stupid. But it's interesting to see how this pans out, because it's going to be the Brothers of Destruction versus the Wyatts. But it looks more leaning towards a traditional Survivor Series match. But it's interesting to see who's going to join up. Who would join up to face with the Brothers of Destruction to face the Wyatts. Maybe Dean Ambrose will step in. Hopefully Sting will be fit enough to come back, but I doubt that. It's going to be interesting, but we'll have to see in the coming weeks what will happen in that, in that situation. Going back to Kevin Owens, he had a match with Dolph Ziggler at the beginning of the show. And a great match, which saw Tyler Breeze again get involved with Dolph Ziggler, hitting the beauty shot. And, the rest is history on that one. Dolph Ziggler versus Tyler Breeze at Survivor Series. I would see this more leaning into a traditional Survivor Series match, quite frankly. These two being on someone's team at Survivor Series. I could just see that happening. And then these two eventually meeting probably at TLC. I could see this happening. That's what they'll do. There won't be a one-on-one match. I will say this: if they put this on the pre-show, it's stupid. You heard that here first, ladies and gents. It will be stupid if they put that on the pre-show. Who else can we talk about? Cesaro squashes Miz. I mean, this guy just beats Miz, beats up Miz. But it seems there's an issue brewing between Cesaro and Cosmic Wasteland, Stardust, and the Ascension. Because during this match, Cosmic Wasteland were in the audience in their own section, if you will. I mean, I don't know what the beef is between Stardust and Cesaro, but it seems there's a beef going on. That's very interesting to see how that happens, or how that pans out, basically. I don't know where that's going, but we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. I wouldn't mind seeing a Stardust Cesaro match, quite frankly, but only if Stardust was Cody Rhodes. That would be a great match. But, that's just my opinion on that. Now, Bray reveals the new power. Lucha Dragons make a huge statement, a very big statement towards the tag team titles, King Barrett and Sheamus, by beating King Barrett and Sheamus, much to the chagrin of JBL. Lucha Dragons, future tag team champions. Hey, if they win the NXT titles, stranger things have happened. It's it's this thing with Sheamus and Barrett, especially Wade Barrett. I mean, these two obviously there was talk on the dirt sheets that Wade Barrett wanted to be in a tag team, so he's got one with Sheamus, which is the perfect combination, two of what could possibly have been the group known as United Kingdom. I mean, if they still had Drew McIntyre on the roster, they could have put them three together, which would have been awesome. But unfortunately not. What the future holds for Sheamus and Wade Barrett, I do not know as a tag team. Obviously, the future, Sheamus could be possibly the world champion. God knows where King Barrett's going to be. At the moment right now, he's King Barrett, but what the future holds for him, I don't know. But as far as them two being a tag team goes, I really don't see much happening for them. Do I see them as tag team champions? Unfortunately, not. No, I really don't, to be honest. I don't know where their future holds, but the Lucha Dragons could be. I could see the Lucha Dragons being tag team champions before long. No doubt. Alberto Del Rio squashed RTruth. The US champion beats RTruth. I think it was a rematch from SmackDown because I could have sworn these two met last week on SmackDown. But before that, Seth Colt had a bit of a talk with, or a bit of a run-in with Jack Swagger. And Alberto didn't take too kindly to it. He told Jack to stay away. What will happen in that? Will Jack and Seb get back together? And join, and will Jack join this Mex America alliance? Can Alberto trust him? Because these two were feuding back in the day before Alberto left. So is there room for Jack Swagger in Mex America? That's an interesting dichotic. We the people. Anyway, moving on. We've talked about the main event. We've already talked about the main event. Now I want to talk about probably the most pointless thing on Raw. The most pointless match on Raw. The Divas match. Now, Divas #1 contender match. The most pointless match ever made on Raw. And for anyone with a brain. And I'm going to rant on this. This is my opinion on this. And I'm going to shoot right now. For those that are watching Raw, or have been watching Raw these past couple of weeks, couple of months, whatever. Well, let's say ever since Night of Champions. Charlotte won the Divas title at Night of Champions. Paige had a beef with it because she wanted to be the champion. So there was a feud, fallout between PCB, which culminated last week when Paige attacked them both. I say both, Charlotte and Becky. So I defy anyone watching this video, whether you're a fan of the sport, whether you're a fan of wrestling or a fan of me, please drop it in the comments and tell me that you didn't predict or didn't think that Paige was going to win that Divas match on Raw. The most pointless thing ever on Raw, in my opinion. Anyone with a brain could have saw that Paige was going to win. If you wanted to make a #1 contenders match for the Divas title, you could have had a triple threat match. You could have had Sasha Banks, Becky, and Brie. Them three. And you could have had them go for the Divas title after Survivor Series. And you could have done what, not to give the game away, I'll never give any spoilers away. And if there's anybody from Ring of Honor watching this right now who watched Ring of Honor television last week and follows my podcast, I'm not going to give any, I'm going to give the game away here. Do what they did last week on Ring of Honor television. And, Nigel McGuinness came out and basically stood in the ring and basically named out of the blue Roderick Strong the number one contender for the TV title. That's what they should have done with Paige. Paige has been beefing with Charlotte since Night of Champions, since Charlotte won the title at Night of Champions. He could have basically came out and went, or someone could have basically came out, probably Triple H, or even Stephanie for that matter, since she started this Divas Revolution in a way. They could have came out and went, okay, Charlotte, Divas champion, Paige has a beef with it, let's settle this. Paige, Charlotte, Divas title at Survivor Series. Instead of putting Paige in this number one contenders fatal four-way and making her earn it. Because we all knew what was going to happen. Anyone with a brain could have saw what was going to happen. It was just pointless. If you wanted a Divas title number one contender, you could have took Paige out of the equation and had Brie, I wish I was Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan, Bella, Sasha Banks, the Boss, and Becky Lynch. You could have had them three go at it for the Divas title. And whoever wins that match gets the first shot after Survivor Series. You know? Keep it that dichotic. Instead of putting somebody in there who we all knew was going to win it anyway. It's just pointless. You know, I miss unpredictability, WWE, because back in the day, there was unpredictability. Now, it seems there is predictability. It's just ridiculous. And I don't like that kind of stuff. I mean, that's why, you know, the ratings on Raw are down. I mean, 2.5 last time I heard. Not good. Not good for anybody. And you wonder why you've got Vince Russo claiming that he can save the WWE. You know, I mean, it's stupidity like that, man. It really is. I mean, if Russo came back, I don't know if Russo could fit in the PG era as far as writing's concerned, but, you know, it is what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's going to be a great match between Charlotte and Paige at Night of Champions. Not Night of Champions, Survivor Series. You know, it's going to be a great match between the two, but you'd have been best off just booking the match, you know, there and then, instead of, you know, making Paige go through a number one contenders match just so she can get the shot at the Divas title. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just borderline stupidity. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Kevin Dunn had something to do with it. You know, it's, you know, it really hurts my brain. Stuff like that, man. Predictability. You know, if I was writing Raw, which I'm not, but if I was, I would make the show unpredictable. Don't make the matches on there predictable, man. I mean, it ruins the flow and it ruins Raw for me. That's why NXT is the best brand in WWE, because it's unpredictable. At least for what I've watched, anyway. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Raw, ratings-wise, I will give it a 3 out of 5 in my terms. In Sunday Segway terms, I would say 6 out of 10. I mean, I never had any beef with it except for that Divas match. It wasn't really, you know, mind-boggling as far as the show goes. I mean, there was, you know, Alberto versus Truth, a squash match. Cesaro versus Miz, basically a squash match. You know, you'd be best off having them two matches on Superstars or main event, whatever the shows are. But, you know, it is what, you know, I mean, other than that, Raw was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either, in my opinion. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps this up for the Raw review. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen, and hope you agree or disagree with my opinions that I've made in this video as well. Look out for the coming weeks. Hopefully by the end of this week. I will have an ICW video up by the end of the week. I know I said I was going to do it, and I am going to do it, guys. I am going to do it. 4 ICW videos coming in, leading or reviews on Fear and Loathing, leading into the Fear and Loathing show, which takes place November 15th. Also, check out the Wrestling Matters podcast as well. You could see that on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/wrestling_matters_podcast. And plus, check out classic and previous shows that I've done as well. And also, if you like what you see, please follow me on there. It'll be greatly appreciated. Also, check out my games channel as well. All the links will be on the channel as well. If you just go onto the channel and look in my second channel, it'll be in there. And also check out the links in the description as well of where you can find me on social media. And this is going on the Facebook page as well, facebook.com/WM podcast. Show your support to the Wrestling Matters podcast. And like I say, guys, I've got to make this as quick as I can because I'm going out later on tonight. I'm going to get ready for work. And thank you for watching. Thank you for taking an interest in this. And what is your opinions on Raw? If you have any opinions on Raw, hey, hit the like button or the dislike button. It's up to you. Your opinions count on this channel because this is what this channel is about. If you have any verbal opinions, drop a comment. I'll read them and I'll get back to you. If you have any questions about me as well, please drop it in the comments as well. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Peace.